Good morning. This is Eric Lofholm. I want to welcome all of you to our daily 15-minute motivational call. This call is designed to put you in an outstanding mindset to have an extraordinary day. And today we have a special guest. Daly Cooper is going to be sharing some of his favorite ideas with you guys this morning. He, just like me and just like all of you on the call, has his sleeves rolled up. He's out in the trenches making it happen on a daily basis. Bailey, I'm going to turn the call over to you.
Thank you. So I just wanted to fill you guys in. Eric Lofholm and I started a relationship a few months ago, and it basically began, and I was in a rut in December, and I had been exposed to his webinars and his training, and I just reached out for anything that I could find to get me out of that situation. And so what I came across was a few ideas, a mantra, and a different angle of approach towards sales. And I had a record-breaking month. And, so the last 2 weeks of December, I was not a client or anything. I literally just purchased the book, the system, and practiced some ideas. So I just want you to be open-minded that you too can take one idea from something like this and go out and change the world. It's possible. And let's just kind of define the word breakthrough. So breakthrough means it's a sudden, dramatic, and important discovery or development. So, I kind of looked at breakthrough as something different. So it's important really to understand the word. And based on my experience and everything that I've done in life, success loves preparation. So if you're not preparing, if you're just walking through the world, meandering through your life without preparation, then that's probably what your results look like, mediocre. If you look in the industry, history has proven it time and time again that those that dominate their industry, they don't just compete, they dominate, always make it through. There's definitely trials and low spots we've all experienced with the economy in the last 10, 15 years. But then there's people that have led their industry that were unaffected. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, is how to have a breakthrough in your business, how to continuously go through spurts to where you go on 90-day runs. And when you run into a low spot, how do you pick yourself up by your bootstraps? What do you do? So a few things that I've done, I just kind of jotted down several simple ideas that helped me out, that continuously help me out. Number one, eliminate negativity and useless distractions out of your life. You don't need them. The newspaper, TV, radio, anybody in your life that's negative, go on Facebook and just look at all of your negative friends and just click, delete, click, delete, click, delete. Seriously, having these, at the very least, unfollow them so that they don't pop up in your news feed. It's really pivotal that you protect your mind from negativity. So number two, turn your car into a university. Just this year, I've read 35 new books, and it's very simple. It's very easy. A lot of books are on YouTube, but if you go on Amazon Kindle, when you buy a book, it'll give you the option to upsell it for like $3 more, and you can get the Audible version. But that's mainly what separates the world class from the middle class. And from anybody that I've ever talked to and interviewed, you go in their car and you ask what's in their CD player, and you'll find out it's probably a Tom Hopkins, a Tony Robbins, something that they've listened to time and time and time and time again. So that's what you got to reprogram your mind, is what's in your car. I utilize that. I just want to give you a list of 11 books that I will probably read, a dozen or more times in my life. They're really powerful. So I'm just going to list them. What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, Chad Helmstetter. The System, Eric Lofholm. You guys, he's giving this book away for free right now. So all you got to do is go to his website and saleschampion.com, and you can click a button and download it for free. That's really awesome. I think I paid $10 for it. So there you go. Here's another great one. How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling by Frank Fetcher. He wrote this book in the 1940s, and it's still one of my favorite sales books out there. Focal Point by Brian Tracy. If you want to learn a different twist on time management and how to create the life of your dreams, this is a great read right there. The Closers Part 1, The Closers Part 2 by Ben Gay. If there was a university for sales, I think that this would be the master exam, these two books. There's so much rich information in there. Unlimited Selling Power, Dr. Donald Moyne and Kenneth Lloyd. Really, really great, useful information about sales and language. And the next, definitely How to Master the Art of Selling by Tom Hopkins. This is probably the second sales book that I ever read, and it's still a timeless treasure for me. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This is a book that I try and read once a year. It's so important for me to keep these ideas fresh in my mind and hone in on my people skills. Earl Nightingale, I love Earl Nightingale. He's got a real short book called The Strangest Secret, and I've probably read that book 4 or 5 times. Lastly, 177 mental toughness secrets to the world class. If you're an entrepreneur, or if you're in business, or if you're in sales, you got to know how the world class think. What do they do? What are their actions? So this book is a really valuable resource to give you several action steps, books to read, things to practice in your daily life that'll help transform it. So a good way to start, if you're not a reader, because I used to not be one, start with trying to read a book a week, and just kind of have a group of your favorite books and read them more than once. Don't just read it and put it on the shelf. Read it, 2, 3, 4 times, because by the 3rd or 4th time, you're going to know exactly where to go. It's going to be highlighted, and you're going to be able to pick it up, grab that nugget, and move on to the next. So moving to change begins in language. This is a really important thing that Eric has taught me in my life, but you got to reprogram everything that you say after the word I am. I used to be a negative person, and I used to have negative self-talk, and I used to have low self-esteem. Well, I've changed, and if you know me today, it would be really hard for you to probably believe that, because I have a very, very high self-esteem and a high level of confidence, but I didn't used to. And it all begins in the language that you speak out into the world. So you can write out your favorite affirmations, tape them to your mirror in your bathroom, put them at your desk. I know it sounds corny, but just saying affirmations 3 times a day consistently for at least 30 days is a really great way to change that language. Have written goals, daily goals, weekly goals, monthly, quarterly. As Eric just taught us the other day, Tony Robbins says that he writes his goals out in decades. So this is really, really pivotal for me, is that I write out every single morning how many marketing touches I want to make. What's the end result? How many appointments do I want to generate? How many sales do I want to create? And I look at them often. I have them on an index card or a sticky note, and I'm accountable to those numbers. You can ask Eric. Most days, anybody that's a client of Eric's, he's given full, rights to be able to email him every single day as an accountability. I think he even does it in his book, The Secret, that he asks if you get to a certain place or if you want to make an affirmation and say something, to email him. So that's a tool that I've utilized. Sales Delusion is really something that I had to work really hard on. I used to be a door-to-door canvas manager, and I can't tell you how many times somebody would come back and say, oh, I knocked 120 doors and I got no appointments. And it just doesn't make sense to me how somebody can spend 4 hours and knock 100 doors, as a specific example. It's delusion. And denial is don't even know that I'm lying to myself. So don't be delusional with yourself. Have integrity. Be honest with yourself. And, there's a book that I think I had mentioned before, Frank Benzer, yes, How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success. He talks about this. He talks about how what he did to create a breakthrough in his life is that he wrote out his activity. So I encourage you to do the same thing and get an accountability partner. Get a sales coach. Join a mastermind group. These are things that will help you stay accountable to your goals. Remember your why. If you don't know your why, find out your why, because that's what's going to take you to the next level. When pain gets really tough, a few weeks ago I gave a talk on here that champions are driven by emotional motivators. There's a lot of people out there that when the heat turns up in their life, they quit. So I encourage you to find out what you need to keep going when it gets hard in your life. Visualization. This is really, really powerful. I don't know if you guys know this, but 1 hour of visualization and meditation on outcome produces 7 hours of results. I mean, this has been scientifically proven. So let's say you just wrote out what you wanted to accomplish for the day, and you visualize what that looked like, what it feels like, how it feels to close those deals, what it feels like to generate that income, and what you want to spend it on. And if you just focused on that for an hour and just meditate on that, and then go out throughout your day, scientifically it says that's going to produce 7 hours worth of results rather than just going out there and self-willing it. Preparation. So this is probably, the most important factor is having a script, having a presentation prepared. Before I go into an appointment, I spend about 5 minutes out in front of the prospect's house, and I just kind of go through my mind on all the facts that I know about them. And LinkedIn will actually send you, sometimes if you have their email, it'll pop up and it'll say, hey, here's their LinkedIn, check them out. You can Google their email address. But it's really important because immediately when you get into a sales presentation, you have to connect the dots. You have to be able to make them like you. And you got about 30 seconds to do that. So a good way is to find out some questions to ask so that you can connect. That's one thing that I do. Know what stories that you're going to tell and what order that you're going to tell them. Storytelling is very powerful because it suspends time. It allows the prospect, if they're losing interest, to now all of a sudden focus and pay attention. And you can overcome objections with this. You can build value with this. It has so many different, the law of social proof. It makes them feel connected to the Joneses. So I really just kind of wanted to expand you guys' thinking here. There's a quote by Tony Robbins I love. It says, the path to success is to take massive, determined action. So what action steps do you want to take? Where do you want to go? Where are you at right now? These are questions that I ask myself, usually once a month. Today's the last business day of April. So if you're not where you want to be, get started right now on gaining momentum into May. What do they call that in car sales? Is sandbagging. Well, I look at it differently. There's still 2 days left in April. So that's time. That's, what are you going to do today to chalk something on the sales board for April? So go out there and change the world, guys. Thanks for giving me the opportunity, Eric. Pass back to you.
Fantastic, Bailey. Great message. And what I loved about Bailey's message, it was obvious, guys, obvious that he prepared. And he knocked it out of the park. His natural gifting was able to come through because of his preparation. So he role modeled for us the message that he had to share today. Everybody go out there, have a fantastic day. I will look forward to connecting with you next month in May, which starts on Monday. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.